Clorinda there her silver arms off rent, her helm, her shield, her hauberk shining bright, in armour black as jet or coal she hent, wherein withouten plume herself she dight. For thus disguised amid her foes she meant to pass unseen by help of friendly knight, to whom her eunuch, old Arcetes, came, that from her cradle nursed and kept the dame. This aged sire had followed far and near, through lands and seas, the strong and hardy maid. He saw her leave her arms and wonted gear, her danger nigh, that sudden change foresaid. By his white locks from black that changed were, in following her, the woeful man her prayed, by all his service and his taken pain, to leave that fond attempt, but prayed in vain. At last, quoth he, since hardened to thine ill, thy cruel heart is to thy loss prepared, that my weak age, nor tears that down distil, not humble suit nor plaint thou list regard. Attend a while, strange things unfold I will, hear both thy birth and high estate declared. Follow my counsel, or thy will that done. She sat to hear, the eunuch thus begun. Sinopus ruled, and yet perchance doth reign in mighty Ethiop, and her deserts waste. The lore of Christ both he and all his train of people black hath kept and long embraced. To him a pagan was I, sold for gain, and with his queen as her chief eunuch placed. Black was this queen as jet, yet on her eyes sweet loveliness in black attired lies. The fire of love and frost of jealousy, her husband's troubled soul alike torment. The tide of fond suspicion flowed high, the foe to love and plague to sweet content. He mewed her up from sight of mortal eye, nor day he would his beams on her had bent. She, wise and lowly, by her husband's pleasure, her joy, her peace, her will, her wish did measure. Her prison was a chamber, painted round with goodly portraits and with stories old. As white as snow there stood a virgin bound, besides a dragon fierce, a champion bold the monster did with poignant spear through wound. The gored beast lay dead upon the mould. The gentle queen before this image laid. She plained, she mourned, she wept, she sighed, she prayed. At last with child she proved, and forth she brought, and thou art she, a daughter fair and bright. In her thy colour white new terror wrought. She wondered on thy face with strange affright, but yet she purposed in her fearful thought to hide thee from the king, thy father's sight, lest thy bright hue should his suspect approve, for seld a crow begets a silver dove. And to her spouse to show she was disposed, a negro's babe late born in room of thee, and for the tower wherein she lay enclosed was with her damsels only wand and me. To me, on whose true face she most reposed, she gave thee, ere thou couldst christened be. Nor could I since find means thee to baptize. In pagan lands thou knowest it's not the guise. To me she gave thee, and she wept withal, to foster thee in some far distant place. Who can her griefs and plaints to reckoning call? How oft she swooned at the last embrace. Her streaming tears amid her kisses fall, her sighs, her dire complaints did interlace. And looking up at last, O God, quoth she, who dost my heart and inward mourning see, if mind and body spotless to this day, if I have kept my bed still undefiled, not for myself, a sinful wretch, I pray, that in thy presence am an abject viled. Preserve this babe, whose mother must deny to nourish it, preserve this harmless child. O let it live, and chaste like me it make, but for good fortune elsewhere sample take. Thou heavenly soldier, which delivered hast that sacred virgin from the serpent old, if on thine altars I have offerings placed, and sacrificed myrrh, frankincense, and gold, On this poor child thy heavenly looks downcast, with gracious eye this silly babe behold. This said, her strength and living sprite was fled. She sighed, she groaned, she swooned in her bed.